3 John chapter 1 verse 2. Love I wish above all things. Above how many things? That thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. God's heart desire is for you to prosper. That as you prosper in your walk with him, he said, even as your soul. That soul has to do with your relationship with God, has to do with your spiritual well-being. So, as you do well spiritually in your walk with God, you also do well financially. So, God's will is not that you speak rekozupetikata. When it comes to money, you bow your head in shame. God's will is for you to speak in tongues and speak in finance. God's will is for you to emit fire, spiritual fire, and emit financial fire. Balanced life. You carry Bible, you carry billions. All of them are bees. That thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as you prosper in your spiritual life. As you prosper in your walk with God, as you prosper in your knowledge of God, as you prosper in your prayer life. God's heart desire is that you prosper in your pockets. When you have spiritual prosperity without financial prosperity, your prosperity is not on equilibrium. You can compromise your spirituality for finance. But when you prosper, money does not determine your decision. Money does not determine what you do. Money does not determine where you go. Prosperity is so important that after the Israelites were in Egypt for 400 years, God ensured that they did not come out in poverty, but in prosperity. And he gave them favor to ask, and whatever they asked, we are giving unto them. And the Bible said they plundered the Egyptians. By favor, they collected everything they had to make sure they don't live in poverty, but in prosperity. Because that is God's heartbeat. Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power. That power has to do with knowledge. That power has to do with light. That power has to do with revelation. That power has to do with insight. That power has to do with wisdom. That power has to do with direction. To get wealth. And the essence is to establish a covenant with our forefathers. Luke chapter 7 verse 22. Then Jesus answering said unto them, go your way and tell John what things ye have seen and heard. How that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, to the poor the gospel is preached. Now, Jesus here is giving prescription to the solution to different problems of life. Don't let you go to the doctor. You are having this or that. He will prescribe the medical investigation or test to run. Go to the lab, do this. By the time you are through, you come with the result. He will now prescribe drugs. Go to the pharmacy to give you. He will give you prescription of drugs to take for your health restoration. Now, Jesus was giving prescription of the solution, tell you to different problems of life. And he said, what a blind man needs is sight restoration, to see. He said, what the lame needs is to walk. He said, what the lepers needs is cleansing, is to be cured. He said, what the deaf needs is to hear. When a man is deaf, what he needs is the restoration of his hearing. He said, when a man is dead, he needs to be raised back to life. He said, when a man is poor, what he needs is the preaching of the gospel. When you hear people criticize, preachers of prosperity, preach Jesus, preach Jesus. I'm not preaching Satan, I'm preaching Jesus. As I'm preaching prosperity, I am preaching who? I'm not preaching devil. That is something called the gospel of prosperity. He said, you know our Lord Jesus Christ. He said, for your sake he was rich in heaven. But for your sake he became poor. That you, through his poverty, may become rich. So Jesus did an exchange. Am I communicating today? While on that cross he was hanging there for you. While he was there surrendering, one of the things he surrendered was your poverty.